And so it's really a representation of, finding the little things in life that keep you going and keep you motivated and bring you joy, and implementing it into your everyday life and figuring out what your version of Sweet July is. So for me, it's, Sweet July and all of these things that we have to offer and the stories throughout the pages of the magazine. But my goal is to encourage everyone out there to figure out what that is that brings them joy and implement their own version of that. So short and point came about.
One of the things that I enjoyed speaking with you about was gratitude. I mean, this year has been so tumultuous, and it's been challenging for all of us in many ways. But I think it's also given a lot of us an opportunity to get really clear about what really matters to us, what our priorities are, and the importance of gratitude. So can you talk to me about how you've gone about finding gratitude in a year that's been this challenging?
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people can relate. It's been hard at points. There's been so much devastation this year, so much change, so much sadness, so much uncertainty. So for me, where I've found my gratitude this year is really leaning into our nonprofit, Eat, Learn, Play, and doing what what we can to help out the community. That's been huge for us this year, is just stepping outside of ourselves and making sure that we're aware of the things that are going on around us and trying our best to help where we can. And then for me personally, it's been really leaning into my family and my kids and trying to see the silver linings in having a little bit more time in that department. And so for me, as I'm sure we can all agree to, health is just, if you have that right now, you have everything. And so I've just found so much gratitude and peace in the fact that my children are healthy, my husband's healthy, I'm healthy, and that is just enough for me. Um, and then I think from just being a woman, from that standpoint, for me, it's been figuring out how to take a little bit better care of me, like from the inside out. And so I've really been leaning into trying to eat a little bit cleaner. And I started this new thing where, I'm waking up before the kids get up, like 2 hours before they wake up. And I always thought I was going to be exhausted if I did that, because they do wake up so early. But I'm telling you, it's given me this new lust for life and a boost in energy. And having that little bit of time for myself in the morning has been a game changer, because I feel more mentally stable and feel like I have more energy to really be present with my family. So for me, that's really what's kept it together and what's kept me grateful and in a state of gratitude majority of the time. We're all human.
But Ayesha, your COVID glow up has been, miraculous. I think you're one of the few people I know who's actually lost weight during COVID.
Yeah.
I have been mainlining salted caramel Haagen-Dazs, so I'm not even going to talk about what's going on below here.
I have those days. I have those days. But for me, I was in workhorse mode. Like I think what a lot of people don't realize is, like, when I really sit down and look back, I was building a career, I was having children, and I really spent, Riley's 8 now, and then so every 3 years I was having a baby. And so we made it past October. So no babies. I'm good.
Do you have something you'd like to share right now, Ayesha?
No, we're done. We're done. So I finally got to a point where I was like, okay, now it's time to, like, nurture myself and take care of myself. And it just so happened to fall in the midst of all of this. But I've been a workhorse for so many years. I still am, but I'm starting to figure out how to navigate that part of me that needed the health and wellness. it took me a long time to realize that that was the missing puzzle piece for me, from a mental state, from the way that I feel, from the way that I conduct myself. And so I really leaned into it from that perspective. And I just feel better, if that makes any sense. But I have my weeks. So like I backtrack all the time. And that just is what it is and what it's gonna be. So don't like, I have good weeks and I have bad weeks.
I know you've been cooking up a storm, and I know that your go-to comfort food is Jamaican food.
Mm,
Shout out to all my Jamaicans who are currently watching right now. I know
yeah.
we talked about oxtails. I know we talked about rum punch. Can you
Oh,
talk to me about what other foods have been bringing you joy and comfort during this period?
yeah. So really, like, you hit the nail on the head, the Jamaican food. That's my heritage. My mom and my grandma immigrated to Canada first, and then my mom to here in the States. And so that's how I ended up here. So technically, I think I'm first generation, I think is what that
Yeah,
means.
you
But
are.
that's all I really know, is that part of me, my Jamaican side. That's how I grew up. It's what I grew up eating. And so being all the way over here on the West Coast, and all of my family being back either on the East Coast or in Canada right now, has it sucks, as we're all going through the same thing. So it sucks not getting to see my family whenever I please. And so the Jamaican food and the comfort of that like makes me feel a little bit closer to them. It makes me feel close to my grandma. Like every time I make a pot of rice and peas or some oxtail, like I FaceTime my grandma and I'm like, how does it look? Did I do a good job? And like just being able to still have that connection is so nice. And then it really is it is the core of who I am. And I don't know if a lot of people realize that. So
Somebody
I
just said,
definitely like, I'm a
somebody just,
yardie.
somebody in the notes just said, Aisha, what guan? I love it.
Aisha, what?
What guan?
Oh,
What
oh,
guan?
wagwan. Wagwan, me dupes. I can turn it
Yeah.
on when I want to. I swear. I swear. I have an alter ego named Gina Jamaica. If you guys are interested and you want a good laugh, go to the tag at Gina Jamaica 2007.
Okay.
Check
I'm here
out
for it.
my alter ego. But yeah,
Mhm.
that's the food that keeps me going. And then outside of that, this is gonna sound weird, but coffee. We talked about the beginning. There's just something about the ritual of having my morning cup of coffee that makes me feel sane. So
I hear that. Wait,
yeah.
and you talked about now Steph, as a result of having been with you for so long, he thinks he's Jamaican too, and he loves
Yeah.
Jamaican food as well.
Yeah. Yes. He is an honorary Jamaican by marriage. He takes pride in it. And his alter ego on my Gina Jamaica page is Errol. So and in that world, he's a cricket player. It's so
Hello.
funny. Can
Wait,
you
you
hear
cut
me?
out a little bit. You said his alter
Oh,
ego is what? Tell me
his
again, please.
alter ego on the Gina Jamaica page is Errol. That's his name. He's Errol, and he's a cricket player. So
Oh,
you got to check it out. But yeah,
I
he
am
definitely thinks he's
so
Jamaican.
there.
He's been getting good with his patois. Like he really has. So shout
Really?
out to him. Big up
We'll see
yourself.
him on the court, and he can bust a tree pointer on someone's face.
Right, exactly. Oh my
Steph
Lord.
Curry with the tree.
Oh my God. So funny.
I mean, and because you are Jamaican, you have like 10,000 gigs. I mean, I know it's a stereotype, but I don't
Right.
know any Jamaican person who has just one job.
They
So
say I have 10 jobs. I have 10 jobs. It's not out of the ordinary. So it just is what it is. Uh-oh. I can't see
hello.
you. There you are.
Okay. So, so in addition to the magazine, I know you have restaurants, you have a cookware line, you have a bedding line,
Mm-hmm.
you have cookbooks, and because you're a mom of three and you have you have so much time on your hands. You've decided that you're going to open a store as well. Can you talk to me about the store and the products that are going to be featured in the store and all of the exciting things that you have coming in the next few weeks or months? Because
Yeah.
again, you have so much time on your hands.
It's so funny. When it's laid out like that, it sounds crazy. But
It is. How do you do it?
the honest truth is I have a really great team of people around me that help guide and make the ship run. And that's the truth. Anybody that says otherwise just isn't telling the truth. There's a whole team of people making it happen. And I have the fun job of ideating and writing and developing recipes and doing all of that stuff. So when it comes to the creative side of things, that's where I really get to lean in and that's where I thrive. And so luckily I have, amazing people that make sure everything else runs smoothly so that I can do my best job at what I do. But with the store opening, it really is, it's our first store, our first flagship Sweet July location, and it's half cafe, and half retail. But really the purpose is to just have a safe space where people can come in and find small things that bring joy. We have everything from dinner napkins to dishes to stuff for your body. Yes, some jewelry when you want a sweet gift to give to somebody. No pun intended. That wasn't on purpose. But yes, when you want a sweet gift, we're the place to go. But we just wanted, and it's so hard to talk about because initially when we conceptualized Sweet July, the store, the idea was to be able to come in and spend time and relax and read the magazine and enjoy a coffee or a warm bread pudding. We have the most bomb bread puddings in store. You can still get them for curbside pickup, but when things go back to normal, the idea is to have people come in and just have a safe space where they can zen out. There's no pressure to buy anything, but if you see something you like, have at it. And so really that's where it was born. I just wanted people to find something in any price point where they could have it. It makes them happy and it brings in that sense of joy into their home, whether it's for your body or for a nice place in your house. And so there's a variety of things. There's also a web component that's on the way. I can't say too much about it, but we felt like it was really important to have some digital content to go along with the magazine, to elongate and lengthen some of the stories and some of the people that you meet throughout the pages. And so that's on its way for 2021 as well. We have in store and online, we'll have our coffee subscription. Our coffee's amazing. And then we have our teas, both herbal. We have a sweet mornings tea that is just delicious and fruity and energizing. And then we have a sweet dreams tea that helps relax you. It's lavender and valerian root and all these amazing things that just calm the mind. And so there's going to be something for everyone. But it really is, it's a culmination of all of these things that I've dreamed about for so long, and just didn't know how to execute them. And I'm finally in the space where it all started making sense and I was able to bring everything together cohesively into one space. So
when do you think it started clicking for you that this is what you wanted to do with your life and that this is what you wanted to make your life's mission?
I think for me, after I had my first daughter back in 2012, I fell back in love with food, and everything about it, and where ingredients were coming from, how they were sourced, just flavor profiles. Like I felt all the way back in love with it and knew that that was what I wanted to do, and that was the core of me. Mainly, I love to eat. I'm a foodie, but also I saw what a vessel for change and communication and love it is. It's the way that I show my love, and I started to notice it really is the core of a lot of people's homes, that meal together. And really it was a relationship builder. And so But then on the flip side, I started to notice people were losing that at the time.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to make it my mission to help and encourage people to bring that togetherness and the joy of cooking and eating together back into the home. And so that's really how it started. And that's really my mission, and what was and is my mission. And then as I started to, I don't want to say age, but as I started
You,
to get older, because I mean, it's been 7 years
you are
now.
aging in reverse. You're aging in reverse. So
Thanks.
Benjamin
Thanks.
buttoning all day.
We'll see. You know what's so funny? My mom is aging backwards, so I'm hoping it works in my favor. We'll see.
Shout out to mom with the
Um,
jeans.
mhm. That's those Jamaican genes. But I as I started to get older, your interests broaden and you learn new things. And they say a person changes every 7 years, whether you like it or not. You change a little bit, whether for the good or the bad, you grow, your interests start to shift. And my core will always be food, but I started to realize that my wellness was just as important as what I was, eating and craving. That, it's important what I'm putting into my body and bringing into my home. And there shouldn't be shame in like wanting to make myself happy, which I think is a big thing that a lot of people miss. Like there are ways to make ourselves happy, even if it is having something that's really cute in your life. Like sometimes it can help, and that's the truth of the matter. And so for me, it was shifting into that sort of health wellness space, and figuring out a way to fuse it together with the food to create sort of like harmony and balance. That's where I'm at now. And so that's really the why. And it's it's never a gig for me. It really is. I see something, or there's white space in the market and I want it, but it doesn't exist. And so I'm a serial entrepreneur in the sense that I like to create and see stuff from idea to seeing it actually come to fruition. And so that's really who I am in a nutshell.
And I think it's still so fascinating, even though we've made a lot of progress as a culture, particularly this year, the culinary world, which you're involved in, is still largely male. And I know that we
It
talked
is
about that because, and I was shocked to discover, you told me that what is only 7%?
7%. Seven
What is,
percent are executive or female restaurateurs. Just 7%. And then when you break it down to that's just women, and then when you break it down to women of color, I don't know what that percentage is, but I would imagine it's much, 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 much lower. And so, it's been nice to have my foot in that world to shake up the numbers a little bit, and hopefully, when I was growing up, I wasn't the kid that watched cartoons. I was watching Food Network. I was watching um, Cooking TV. I was watching Emerald. I was watching Rachel. I was watching Julia, but nobody looked like me. And so growing up, even though I had this passion and this lust for food, I didn't know that it was even something I could dare to think about or dream about. So I never took a chance at it, and it didn't happen for me until my adulthood. And my husband actually saying, "Hey, I think you can do this." Actually, me being like, "Oh, you know what? Maybe I can. I haven't necessarily seen it done before, but maybe I can." And I'm glad that I did, because now my hope is that little girls like me who live and breathe and wake up thinking about food will see a version of themselves, and know that they can, that there's a chance there's opportunity. So
I want to talk to you about the holidays really quickly. I know that a lot of us are having scaled back holidays because obviously we have to stay safe and we can't do the big family gatherings. How are you going to go about making, the curry Christmas extra special this year, given the fact that it has to be more scaled back, a little more minimalist this time
yeah.
around?
So our Christmas holiday is going to be super scaled back. Um, Seven's actually is a game, an away game. So it's our first Christmas that we're not necessarily going to be together, which is so crazy. But we got this. I mean, there are far worse
What is
situations.
that going to look like?
It's going to look very minimal. But I mean, you know, when we have love in our home, and that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what day it is, you know. So we'll probably celebrate a little bit before with the kids. They won't know the difference. They're still so young. So we look out there, but it's just going to be a very relaxed day. I'll have my sister-in-law over and my sister over as well. So it'll be a girls' day. Poor Cannon's going to be solo dolo from the guy's perspective, but it's okay. He can hold his own. And then for us this year, so with Eat, Learn, Play, every year we do our Christmas with the Curries. And obviously this year we had to make it a little bit different because of COVID and just making sure people stay safe. So we're doing a special drive up version this year of Christmas with the Curries to make sure everybody's still taken care of this holiday season. So we're super excited about that.
That's fantastic. And for those who aren't familiar with the work that your charity does, could you just spell it out for us? Because I know you provide educational opportunities, you provide food as well. Just walk us through all the great things that your charity is doing.
Absolutely. So it's called Eat, Learn, Play. And the reason why we decided to call it that is because, simply put, we believe that there are three core pillars that are just fundamental in a child's development. And that is, you know, being fed, good education, and safe spaces to play. And a lot of people don't realize there are a lot of children that just don't have access to any of those things. Those three core things that, you know, you never really blink twice about. And so for us, it's been our mission to ensure that kids here in Oakland have access to quality education, have access to quality nutrition, and safe spaces to play. Because with that, you find better grades. Better grades.
You want to bring, you can tell them I said hi.
I will. Better grades. They're focusing in school, better, higher graduation rates. It's just it's so cyclical. And so when you start there, you're really giving every child a fair chance at a great life and at the opportunities that everybody deserves. And so that's really our mission right now. And we're really proud of it, but have a lot of work to do. So just if you want to give Eat, Learn, Play a follow, it's just at Eat, Learn, Play, and we share things on there all the time about what we're doing. Or you can go to eatlearnplay.org.
I know we've got to wind down in a few minutes, but I want to speak to you about what you're optimistic for in 2021. What are you looking forward to in the new year? Because again, 2020, you know, we've called it the year of change, the year of the pivot, the year of some other things that we can't talk about on IG Live.
Yes, that part.
It's been a wild year. So.
To say the least, to say the least. And you know what I hate? I hate that nothing at this point surprises anybody. That is so sad to me. And I'd like to get back to a place in 2021 where things surprise us and they shock us and we're not so numb to everything. Because we're all only human. And I feel like everybody's taken on so much this year. It's time to just be in a space of peace as best as we can. And I think I'm excited to see America and the world sort of rebuild itself for the better. I'm so excited to see a Black woman in office, a woman in office. I am just excited for the light at the end of the tunnel, to be honest. I mean, at this point, even a little crack of the window with the light shining through is I think more than any of us could ask for at this point. And so I'm just excited about the possibility of change and growth and the opportunity for our resilience to shine. So
Well, Ayesha, thank you so much.
Thank
You've been
you.
fantastic. Again, Sweet July, the magazine on
Yes.
newsstands now. Sweet July, the pop-up store coming soon. And
Flagship
this will
store,
be,
permanent. It's permanent.
oh, really? Flagship
Yes.
permanent? Okay. Can you give us, where will it be again? I know it's going to be on a very special block in
Yes. Yes.
Oakland.
So it's what us ladies over here called the block. And it's in Oakland, Broadway, the block of Broadway. And then on the backside is 23rd, if you're familiar with the Oakland area, you guys. And we have these amazing Black-owned, female-owned businesses. So Brittany Barnes has Good Body Hair, which is the first of its kind, and it's gorgeous. So if you need your hair done, stop in to see her. We have Sherry McMullen's McMullen Boutique, which is one of the only, if not the only, premier boutique in Oakland that just so happens to be owned by a strong, beautiful, powerful Black woman. We have Tanya Holland's Brown Sugar Kitchen, bomb, and then Sweet July opening, among a bunch of other businesses. So it's just an exciting time for us women to be in that area and to lift each other up and just have this powerhouse of a little block, as we call it. So more to come on that soon. I don't want to give out the address yet, but
okay.
Like I'm sure I gave away enough to like. I'm sure I shouldn't have done that, but it's fine.
It's fine. Listen,
it's okay.
I've got to know where to fly, and I've got to know when to come visit you.
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm gonna hop on the plane. I'm gonna come see you when
Perfect.
Sweet July, the flagship store opens. And congratulations, happy holidays.
Thank you so much. Happy holidays, and happy holidays to everyone. This has been so special. Thank you for staying up so late, all the way over there. I appreciate it.
This has been my pleasure.
Oh, thank you. Okay, everybody, if you're still watching, please follow Sweet July, at Sweet July. Lots of announcements coming soon. All right. Thank you. Bye. Bye.